City Morning.
Buenos días, compañeros. Buenos días todos y bienvenidos al Sugar City Morning Show. Good morning and welcome to today's edition of the Sugar City Morning Show. I beg your pardon. It is exactly 2 minutes after 7 o'clock, and it is a pleasure to send you greetings wherever you may be. In Corozal, in Orange Walk, in Belize, in Cayo, in Stan Creek, or in Toledo, or in San Pedro. Wherever you may be, it is a pleasure to greet you and to say good morning, buenos dias. We will go directly on to a prayer. Vamos a ir directamente a nuestra oración porque al final del día tenemos que agradecer a nuestro Creador por todo lo que hace por nosotros. Y también, como dice, si es que no pides, no consigues. Al final del día tenemos que reconocer que hay un Dios que nos da de todo, que nos bendice, que nos protege, que nos sana, que nos ama intensamente. Así que, Padre, te doy las gracias por todas tus bendiciones. Te doy las gracias por la vida, por la salud, por las fuerzas. Te doy las gracias por tu protección, por todas las experiencias. Te doy las gracias por tu presencia en mi conciencia. Gracias, Padre, por todo. Gracias por nuestros familiares, por nuestras amistades. Gracias. Te pido que continúes bendiciéndonos, Padre. Te pido que esta Semana Santa, cuando se celebra la pasión y muerte de Jesucristo, que tengamos mayor conciencia de lo que Jesús pasó por nosotros. Y que entonces nosotros podamos mostrar un poco de agradecimiento por todo lo que sucedió. Agradecimiento y fe en lo que sucedió. Padre, te pido como siempre para que protejas y cuides de los enfermos y las enfermas. Por aquellas personas que más necesitan de tu ayuda, aquellas personas que recién han perdido un ser querido. Por todas aquellas personas que necesitan de una forma u otra. Te pido, Padre, que nos ayudes. Como siempre, te bendecimos, te glorificamos y te adoramos, Padre. Compañeros, hoy por la mañana, porque tenemos problema con el internet y porque por el colmo tuve problemas técnicos con mi laptop, pues por el momento no les puedo ofrecer el pronóstico del tiempo, el reporte del estado del tiempo. No les se los puedo ofrecer, pero tan pronto reciba eso, lo que estaremos compartiendo con ustedes y pues, pero como siempre tenemos que agradecer a todas las personas que han estado apoyando nuestro programa y y el reporte del tiempo. El señor Honorable Gaspar Vega, el señor German Vega, el señor Eduardo Vega. También quiero agradecer a Gillette Meat Shop, Belize Marketing and Development Corporation, Telemedia, Government of Belize Information Service, Dano Milk. Quiero agradecer a todos y pedirles que si es que necesitan anunciarse, si es que recién han recibido un gran cargamento de productos y quieran anunciar, y en particular les quiero mencionar algo, que no porque está en cable quiere decir que estás anunciando, porque hay mucha gente que aunque nosotros estamos en cable, recuerden de que hay una estación, Canal 10, que se ve por aire por todo el distrito y por el norte en realidad, Corozal y Orange Walk. No necesitas cable para ver eso y hay una gran cantidad de gente que toma ventaja de justamente de eso y no tienen cable. Y la única estación que ven es Canal 10, que es esta estación de televisión. Compañeros, utilícenlo. Las tarifas son buenísimas. Y pues compañeros, cuando son las 7:07, con su permiso, vamos a una pausa, pero estaremos de vuelta con ustedes tan pronto estos anuncios. Vamos a esta pausa.
When it comes to running my business, I have to ensure that my office is always connected and that my service is the best. This is exactly what I need from my internet provider at my home also. That's why I chose Diginet. It's fast, reliable, and most importantly, it's affordable. With Diginet, I get a reliable connection plus 6 gigabytes free mobile data each month to use while I'm on the go, all for just $99. This is big savings for me. Diginet gives me the edge I need to take my business to the next level, right from home. Visit your nearest BTL office to find out more about Diginet and how you can save, just like me.
Now available in San Pedro, Northside Belize City, Ladyville, and Belmopan. Coming soon to Orange Walk.
Notice to residents of rural communities in Orange Walk and Corozal districts. If you value your health and your children's health, you will dispose of your garbage only at approved sites. The disposal of garbage at any other location is illegal, and if caught, you can be fined up to $5,000. If you don't get caught, you can still suffer health impacts caused by these illegal sites, because illegal dump sites harbor pests such as rodents, possums, and mosquitoes that carry diseases. These can transmit those diseases to you and your children. In addition, the garbage you throw away illegally can contaminate water bodies near your community, the same water bodies you might use for recreation or other purposes. Only with your help can the Department of Environment ensure that Belize's development is safe for present and future generations. You can also contact your local village councils or Belize Solid Waste Management Authority for more information. The Department of Environment thanks you for your help.
Maintaining steadiness, consolidating stability, advancing growth.
Our priorities for the budget, fiscal year 2018-2019, are to continue to provide resources for investments in physical infrastructure, mainly roads and bridges, for education and health, for poverty alleviation, and for citizen security and defense. Mr. Speaker, I repeat, we grasp the nettle with both hands. We rise to meet the challenges, and we will overcome them. This year's budget is structured accordingly, and there therefore can and will be no retreat from our signature pro-poor policies. No retreat from Boost and Food Pantry, no retreat from the apprenticeship program, no retreat from the high school subsidies, no retreat from the payment by GOB for students' CXC exams, no retreat from the funding of the second chance opportunities, no retreat from tuition assistance, no retreat from the plethora of full scholarships, no retreat from the construction of new classrooms, no retreat from new rural water supply systems, health posts, and hospitals, certainly in San Pedro, which we hope to fund from a public-private mix, and also from PG. That's the next priority.
The government of Belize, moving Belize forward.
Why go anywhere else on vacation when an unforgettable experience awaits you right here in your own backyard? Explore Southern Belize, home to the Cacao Trail, the historically rich Maya, and our illustrious Southern heritage. Satisfy your sweet tooth with a cacao tour, relax by the river, or enjoy a basket weaving demonstration. Stop in for some delicious Southern food. Come and enjoy some good old-fashioned Southern hospitality. Belize, where you can discover how to be a Belizean traveler.
Welcome back to the Sugar City Morning Show. Bienvenidos, compañeros. It's exactly 12 minutes after 7. We are trying to get our little things ready here so that we can share with you the weather forecast, but that will be coming up momentarily. At the moment, I would like to say good morning and welcome to my good friend Robert Checky Usher. Checky, morning. ¿Cómo estás? How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you very much. How are you doing?
I'm doing quite well.
Okay, good morning to everybody. Welcome once again to the Sugar City Morning Show. I wish I got a rooster for, when I say good morning, a rooster, do you need crow? The morning, but pa, we're there, man, it's Holy Week. I know. I see a lot of people gone to church yesterday.
Yes, and even this morning.
This morning as well?
And even this morning. People normally try to make it fulfill their promises to go every day in the whole Holy Week. Some people make a promise to go every Wednesday and Friday in length to church. Some people just go every day, and some people just don't go any at all. You know what I mean? I don't go quite often, but I do go.
Okay.
If I can't catch it in the morning, well, I catch it in the evening. So, or maybe 9 o'clock mass Sunday morning.
Well, that's good. But the Easter Day, Emmanuel, and we see a lot of people. I can see from the looks of many vehicles outside that many people look at heading to different beach areas because going to those beach areas when it comes to Progreso and Playa Blanca, so a lot of dust. I see a lot of vehicles dusty up, So, but we just want to ask them people as well, Emmanuel, to take care when they drive because I think they hardly have people that has designated drivers here in Belize, And when everybody, most people drink up and so on, they swim up and so on. When they come back, they say, give me one for the road. That one for the road not so good, Not so good. There was an accident here on the Philip Wilson.
Mile 40.
Yeah. I passed there when...
That was on Saturday.
Saturday evening.
Saturday evening.
Yeah. I saw 2 persons lying on the ground, but they said they just be there in a pain. Yeah, they said they just there in a pain. So I never really stopped because they had a lot of people there, and I never really want to interrupt.
That happened around 6:30, 6?
Yeah, right around that time, right by the curb.
Yeah, because I was browsing through all the TV channels at that hour, and I heard the notice coming from I think Love FM or one of those asking the medical personnel and the police to be there as quickly as possible because they said 3 people in an SUV who needed assistance.
Yeah, and that's in the Orange Walk district boundary as well because
yes.
it's right by the Caribe Farm area.
I understand that. I know exactly
it was on the right-hand side going to Belize.
What happened?
I see one vehicle over that side in a bush, and next one over that side in a bush.
Across, you mean?
One by one side and one by the next side.
Of the road?
Yeah.
Okay.
Off the road in a bush. On both sides. But
what do you imagine happened?
Boy, you see when you look for Caribe, they got that big, coming up from Belize side to Caribe, they got that big curve, right? Maybe the person coming from that area couldn't control the curve that good, probably sick of the driving. But I hear people out there, they say one other thing, so I don't really want to just say what they say. Because people just say this one, they say that one, they say that, and that one, they say that, right? So, but I remember seeing 2 persons on the ground, and I may think they passed away, they lost their life, but no, somebody, no man, they said they just got them to relax there because they got a slightly pain, but they wait for the ambulance to come. But when I left from there, about 6:37, the ambulance never really reached it. But we don't hear really anything else from that. But you see, when time that thing that happened, Emmanuel, a lot of people, a lot of people try to give way, but then got some people get in the way as well, man. They push through, if you go through, if they see what they happen, and they got people where they try to help, you know.
I understand.
But thank God that it wasn't fatal, right? You know.
I want to ask you a question, Chicky. I watched the news on Thursday and on Friday. Well, I watched the news all week. But it seems that there is some relief from the spate of killings that was going on in Belize City over the past 2-3 weeks.
Yes, but somebody was murdered, but that was in Lads Bank. That has nothing to do with the city, with this gang element, you know, with this gang element. But it looked like things slowed down already. I spoke to the new commander in that area, but he has his plans coming up now, working up. So we're going to discuss more about that when I'm at liberty to do it, because we were only talking and I never really asked him, you know, should I report this? So he has his plans going on, and he said that in the day willing to work with the police and with the community as well. But I saw a video, it looks like it was a GSU, and but somehow I can't download the whole video. That somebody sent it for me from City. I can't download it. I don't know what the fact, but here somebody said, then they come, say they got gone, say they come. So I don't really know exactly what it is about. But when I get to load it up, because you know we have this problem right now, the internet they come in slow, not even the weather they come up right now. When that happen, when we get to bring it up. But you're right, Emmanuel. When I hear that, like the past 2 weekends, because the past 2 weekends, I mean, very bloody in the city.
Yes. The following.
Yeah, go ahead.
The following question that comes up naturally is, will we be able to sustain the peace that we've been experiencing lately?
That's the big
Will
question.
it take the continued presence of the police and the BDF? Are we doing anything to kind of mitigate the forces, the causing forces? You know what I mean? If Mr. Hyde says that it's economic, and this one said that it's ethnic, and Tara one said whatever studies, whatever reasons they may be, do you envision any kind of like work being done in the south side Belize City to try to alleviate the situation?
Well, not care who they put there. If they do some kind of different mitigation, some different kind of approach to that, then it showed that the previous approach that was there wasn't working. You know, before Chester was transferred to Belmopan, things look like him they shape up a little bit, no? With Chester and Nuri and Miss Finnegan, it looked like things would shape up. But when Chester was transferred, then it looked like the only him they carry the weight, or maybe the next ones never have the authority to do what they need to do to keep the crime down. But the persons that are in charge there included, like you rightly say, we have the BDF and the police, we have a new commander, and we have two assistant superintendent of, what you call it, a superintendent? No, two assistant commissioner of police, no? So, not because they are deployed in different area, that means they know how to put the input in on what is happening there, because that's the toughest area right now to deal with. So, all the high authorities with all their expertise, remember a lot of them people go study and they got great expertise in different fields. So putting everything together might quickly bring this situation, not maybe to a halt, but maybe much lower on what they happen. Because when you hear one weekend, 5 people shot, the weekend before that 3 persons was shot, then during the week, one next one shot, then it is completely out of control.
Why I ask you the question is because at the moment, you know, you have a boil, you have a pot, upon the fire,
yeah,
and it's boiling, and all we have done is we have put a lid on it.
But it's still the bun.
But it's still boiling.
Yeah.
And it causes one pressure.
Yeah.
And there will come a time when this is going to pop.
Yeah. That's true.
So it has to be that for us to be able to sustain the peace and quiet in Belize City, that you must bring down the fire so it doesn't boil.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Yeah, but how do we bring down that fire?
Well, I do believe that there was some sort of initiative that happened a couple of years ago. And I do believe that an outcome of that initiative was some crime committees, and that was a bipartisan approach to the crime situation. I don't know much about it because I just learned about it, but I'm sure that some sort of resurrection of this committee would be, I'm not sure if I'm using the correct word there, resurrection. I don't even know if it's dead. But the point is, the general point is to do a study of the situation. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Get people to go in and do an analysis of why is it that Southside has such a high prevalence of crime. Is it the economic situation of people? Is it the socio-economic aspect of it? Is it because government is giving them too much hands out where they're getting lazy?
Yeah, that's the way the lifestyle come in.
You know what I mean?
The lifestyle they are living.
Can it be that perhaps government is saying, hold it down, and then say, well, I don't have to work, can you give me? And then they employ their time doing other stuff.
Yeah.
And then, you see, there's beauty in work.
Yeah, because when it comes to work and employment, we're not short of that, pa.
No.
Because we don't know how much people they go to
No,
sit there
no,
and they
no.
go work.
You try again if you tell me no work there, because if no work there, we wouldn't have 50 buses going to Belize City, to Belize District, because a lot of them work in Ladyville. And 50, I'm not going above my head there.
Yeah, and
you know what I mean?
5 times 6 to 30, just put on the rest as 0. That what, 3,000?
3,000 people, between 2,500 to 3,000 people
every day.
go to work in Belize every day.
Every day, every day that happen. So,
and they have failed, I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
And people will say, oh, that's why we don't got no job, because people from the north, they can take over with job. No, the vacancy was there. It's just that you never took advantage of it. And people from Orange Walk took advantage of it.
Yeah, so when you look on it, that employment thing is not an issue. I think it come that there are some people just don't want to work. They're lazy. Mm-hmm. Like they used to say they go ask for a job, but they pray for it and tell you, no, there.
But let's talk about this a bit. And I think that it was on the news sometime last week, where they say that we have to borrow from some countries, borrow from the experiences of other countries. Mm-hmm. In other words, if such and such a country had a good result from what they did, from the initiatives they took, then let's look at those. And if such other country had a good result of the measures they put in place, let's look at it. So let's study it and see how we can incorporate those measures and put it into our country. Okay?
Yeah.
But one of the things that came out of that study was, it says, look at this country, and I don't remember what it was, but it says, as long as you have 2 to 3 appearances in court, the law is written such, because our law is not at the moment written that way, but our law is written such that, then send you back to jail for a while. In other words, I know people out here walking the streets with 16 and 17 and 20 counts of theft, aggravated assault, burglary, even murder, manslaughter, and then they walk out on the street. You understand me?
Yeah, that is dangerous as well.
That is dangerous. 17 and 18 counts. I go like, as soon as they come out of jail, they go do something else. Yeah. That, in other countries, you can't do that. The issue of human rights comes up. The issue of your rights as an individual comes up and says, tell you what, according to the law, you cannot jail me for this. And according to the law, you cannot jail me for this, for that. And according to the law, so at the end of the day, they have them out in the street. So we need to review the laws. The laws need to be updated, because I don't think that there has been an update in the general review of laws for the last, I don't know how many years. So much so that a lot of people think that it's antiquated and it's irrelevant.
That's true. Yeah, that's true, because some things we used to pay $5 for in and then time there, so right now that $5 that must be like way down 100 right now compared to what you could have been doing with $5 then days and today.
Exactly. So this one is charging $5 and $25. Get out of here. The man said, I'm glad I gave one punch in your face. I got a court paid $25, and next week if you're ready for another one, I'll give you another one and I'll pay the $25 again. So
yeah, I hear that already. I hear that already. Somebody say, me I knock you down and me when I court go pay for you. I pay about $40 or $50.
Exactly. So at the this is another side of the problem that needs to be addressed. Yeah. Can it be that our judicial system is too lax, too antiquated, that we need to review it? Because the police can only do what is prescribed within the law.
Yeah, that is true.
So I think that one of the very important things that needs to be done is a general revision of the criminal laws of this, and even not only criminal, but well, even the civil cases.
Yeah, and you see, Emmanuel talking about borrowing from others. For we country, now a blessed country, and we got a lot of smart people. We have a lot of expertise here in this country. So when they do the things that say, why do not try reach out to some of the people in the different districts to go on those boards and try to give some suggestions to see how we can get it done. I know say the people in the Belize City, they don't got expertise, but we got good people out of the city as well. We could sit on the same committee and on the same board there, we could come up with some good ideas, some good decisions that we could make this thing happen. Because we have them boards that they go over and over and over and over and over and over.
What do you mean over and over?
Like they have one committee right now, next year the same committee, next year the same
committee. They're the same people?
The same people.
Okay, that's what you mean, the same people. I agree with you. I agree that, well, the way politics is that, try to center everything in Belize City and Belmopan, and if you're not part of that little circle, then you're not into anything.
Sometimes they invite some people, but you mentioned Belmopan today. I say, okay, I want to make you up on the board. We have a meeting 7 o'clock Tuesday night. And you make your way there for that meeting and come back by your own. You need to work around people's availability. We got the weather report, Papa. We want to take one break. I want to come back and share the weather report.
Yes, we'll take a break and we'll be right back with you.
Give me the real milk, the #1 milk, Dano milk, then of Dano milk. You can whip its cream, for Dano milk it is real, yes, Dano milk, then of Dano milk. All over Cayo and in San Pedro, Dano milk, then of Dano milk. Dano milk in the morning, Dano milk in the evening, Dano milk. Give me Dano milk, up north us all. Supermarket and them all. Dana Milk, then love Dana Milk. All over this land and in Belmont Pan, yes, Dana Milk. Give me Dana Milk. Say in Dangriga, down south in Fiji. Dana Milk, then love Dana Milk. You can hear this talk, cause it's in Orange Walk. Yeah, Dana Milk. I love Dana Milk. Dana Milk powder. Probably the best milk powder in the world. Dano.
Residents of Dangriga now have their very own brand new modernized multi-purpose complex, compliments of the government of Belize. This $3.5 million investment in the cultural capital will host sporting events, cultural events, and shows, and can double as a hurricane shelter. Features include seating for 1,000, a fully FIBA certified wooden court, locker rooms with full bathrooms, a stage and changing rooms backstage, concession stands, office space, and ample parking. The government of Belize, moving Belize forward.
Freshly extracted local honey, perfect for today's dessert. And these locally produced onions, they are just the right size for my popular onion rings and hamburgers. And these cuts of sheep lamb, also grown locally, are just perfect for my succulent barbecue. When I think about my family's health, I buy local products first. After all, they are fresh and healthier. And if you do the same, you're shaping a brighter future for your community, your family, and yourself, as local spending circles back to you. Remember, when you buy local products, you are building a better Belize. This message is proudly sponsored by the Food and Agriculture Organization, European Union, Ministry of Agriculture, and Belize Marketing and Development Corporation.
A fast and reliable internet connection is crucial to the success of any business. That's why we at Pingboty chose DigiNet. Not only is it affordable, but it is service we can depend on to keep our business running 24/7. Plus, our DigiNet business plan allows us to stay ahead of the competition. For only $99, we get a dependable fiber connection at super fast speeds. Visit your nearest BTL office and ask about how DigiNet can enhance your business today.
Now available in San Pedro, Northside Belize City, Ladyville, and Belmopan. Coming soon to Orange Walk.
The sunny days are here, and whether it's for a picnic or in your kitchen, you need the meat. Gillette's Meat Shop proudly offers a variety of juicy cuts such as processed meats, ham, bacon, salami, longanisa, and sugar cure ham, just to mention a few. Enjoy our meats in beef, pork, and mutton. So for that healthy cut your family enjoys, visit us at number 18 San Antonio Road in Orange Walk from Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 12 p.m. and 1:30 p.m. to 6 p.m. Saturdays, 7 a.m. to 12:30 and 3 to 5 p.m. Sundays, 8 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Place your orders at 322-3486 or 322-2175 or even 610-4061. Send us an email at derekgillett31@gmail.com. Gillette's Meat Shop, fresh and processed meats.
Ay, qué rico.
Welcome back to the Sugar City Morning Show. It's exactly 36 minutes after 7 o'clock. Buenos días, ¿cómo se encuentran? 24 minutos antes de las 8 de la mañana. Esta mañana es preciosa aquí en Orange Walk. Hoy es lunes y afortunadamente, pues ya tenemos el reporte del estado del tiempo. Primero lo vamos a hacer en inglés y luego en español para el beneficio de aquellas personas de habla hispana. This is the general weather forecast for today, Monday the 26th of March. We're done day in the Holy Week. At 6 o'clock, the general situation was slightly moist conditions exist, especially over southern Belize. The 24-hour forecast, partly cloudy skies becoming cloudy at times along with isolated showers, especially over the south. Winds are expected to become gusty during the nighttime. So, partly cloudy skies becoming cloudy at times with isolated showers, especially over the south. The winds blowing from the east at 10 to 20 knots. The sea stayed choppy to moderate. Temperatures along the coast, 85 degrees as a maximum, 80 degrees as a minimum. Inland, we're going all the way up to 90 degrees Fahrenheit as a max and 72 degrees as a low. And the hills are very comfortable, 82 degrees Fahrenheit and 6 as a max and 66 as a low. There are no advisories in place. The outlook for Tuesday and Tuesday night is for similar weather conditions to continue. A high tide this morning occurred at 5 minutes before 7. A low tide will occur at 11:25. A second high tide at 5:37 this afternoon, and the second low tide tomorrow morning, and it's not very clear. The sun rose today at 8 minutes before 6. The sun sets today at 4 minutes after 6. The moon is rising. Then let's say that the moon is rising at 1:40 p.m. this afternoon. Thank you, forecaster Angelia Guy. Muchas gracias. Este es el reporte del estado del tiempo para hoy y lunes, y es una mañana preciosa aquí en Orange Walk. Ojalá y que sea una mañana preciosa donde sea que te encuentres. Condiciones ligeramente húmedas continúan controlando el clima sobre nuestro país, pero en especial sobre la porción sur del país. Y te preguntas, bueno, húmedas, pero ¿dónde? Pues ha de ser que hay mucha humedad en el ambiente y también puede provocar un chubasco o algo así por la tarde, pero vamos a ir al pronóstico para las siguientes 24 horas, parcialmente nublado, y va a estar tornándose a cielos nublados, por momentos intensamente nublados, con chubascos aislados, pero en especial sobre la porción sur del país. Así que no vamos a descontar la posibilidad de tener un chubasco u otro, pero en particular sobre la sección sur del país. Y los vientos se esperan que incrementen a nivel de ráfagas hoy por la noche. Así que es muy probable que tengamos un sistema de alta presión entrando sobre nosotros que pudiera estar causando esto. Los vientos del este de 10 a 20 nudos, el estado del mar agitado a moderado. Temperaturas máximas por la costa 85 grados como una máxima, 80 como una mínima. En el interior del país 90 como una máxima, 72 como una mínima, y por las colinas 82 como una máxima y 66 como una mínima. No hay ninguna advertencia en lugar, no es tiempo para eso. El mañana martes por la noche hay pronóstico para condiciones similares. Yo había visto en el pronóstico ayer o el sábado, de que íbamos a experimentar un un frente de frío, pero aparentemente este frente de frío que está bajando no nos va a afectar. Por eso explica la ausencia de la dimensión en ello. Pero ya sabes de que a esta altura, marzo, ya la última semana de marzo, pues no es por común que tenemos frentes de frío, y tendría que ser suficientemente fuerte para afectarnos. Muchos de ellos se disipan en el Golfo de México, tan pronto llegan a la península de Yucatán, ahí se disipan y se van más al este en vez de al sur, y es obvio que nosotros pues no tenemos, no conseguimos ningún efecto, pero lo que sí vamos a tener, compañeros, es un bajo en las temperaturas para los siguientes 2 días, poquito así bien leve, pero también muchos vientos con fuerza de ráfaga. Así que hay que estar muy al pendiente de esto y gozarlo, porque en realidad no hay pronóstico de lluvia, por decir lluvia intensa, pero ¿qué más que estar en tu veranda, en tu hamaca, con los vientecitos y con un tantito de sueño? Amén, eso es todo lo que necesitas. Le doy las gracias a Chequi por su amabilidad de facilitar el pronóstico del tiempo. Thank you, Chequi. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, Pastor. We got good weather.
Yes, like I said in Spanish, I saw that there was going to be a little, but not a little, a cold front coming down that was supposed to be bringing down the temperatures a little, but it didn't. I repeat that, a little, not a lot. But normally what happens is that they dissipate when they arrive into the Gulf of Mexico and they go into the Yucatan Peninsula. You see, it's a low pressure system, so it generally goes east and north rather than coming south. So we just will get to a little bit of breeze and slight little decrease in temperature, but nothing as if it's going to be a cold front per se, that the temperatures are going to go down to the 50s and nothing like that. It's just a slight decrease in temperatures, and that explains the reason why the Met Service don't even make a mention about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep. So people could jump in on a boat and so on.
Yes. But remember that the winds are going to be quite intense tonight.
Yep, okay. Well, thanks to the Belize Met Service, 60 minutes away from 8 o'clock. Emmanuel, we understand when it comes to river fish, when it comes to like the Bay Snook and the Crana, I understand that there is a shortage. The tilapia didn't come in, but the Bay Snook and the one there, not come in right now because of the high waters.
High waters where?
In the Crooked Tree area, in the Black Creek area, in the Southern Lagoon area. They have high waters in those areas. So it look like people not really get a lot of river fish this side for this Easter. I spoke to somebody that always bring fish around this time. Bring one big ice packs, but alone tilapia. I tell her, what happened to the Bay Snook? And so he said, boy, not even me can get that. And I spoke to one of my aunt in Crooked Tree, and she's saying that the water is very high, because I know usually around this time they open the lagoon. They usually open the lagoon around this time so that people can go, because the lagoon, it's not like you could just go there and haul on it as usual. They have time when they open it so that the fish can gather. And then usually Easter time, then I open it then I'm probably going to open it today and probably Wednesday and Thursday. But this time, she was telling me that the water is too high for folks to go out there and pull their net. Because you know the net just go a certain depth. So it won't be possible. So I understand that a lot of people are getting river fish. Maybe they have people who bring from other areas, but when it comes for Crooked Tree and the Blackwater Creek area and the Southern Lagoon, I understand that it will not happen. And you know.
Well, tell you what, I went to people's store go buy my sardine and buy mackerel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm sure that somebody can give me 2 crabs bun. And
Yeah.
but I would love to eat fish. Well, I eat fish every week.
Yeah, well, you know, they have these persons who come around by the market area and sell their fish as well. It's
But
mostly
the other day there wasn't any problem. I get some nice fish out by the market.
Yeah, but I believe the river fish will still be around. But a lot of people look forward for the river fish around this time. They got their own belief and their own tradition why they want to eat the river fish around this time, right? But you know what happened? I don't know if they are bringing from some other place, but the ones for Coogee Tree and so, it don't look like it will happen.
Well, maybe it will from some other place, like you correctly said.
Maybe from some other place.
But tell you what, fish one day.
Yeah, fish one day. And you know this time that when that the market, that believes the price go up, right?
Yes.
Because the fishermen's they claim that they have to go farther to get the fish, and it consume more fuel, and it take them longer time out there. But they make sure that they bring in the fish that you will get it. But sometimes it's all the way up to $10, $12 a pound.
I'll tell you what,
High
at $12 a pound, you could keep it.
Yeah. Someone says a text here, good morning, Sugar City. I don't hear anything about Johnny and his spot land grabbing from those organizations, which was very cruel to the Honorable Gapi. Where are them now? Thinking to talk about the activists there when they come out and talk one other thing. One time this thing and come out Gaspar. The PM mentioned, I believe it was late Friday night, because the sitting of the House went late.
Up to about 10:30.
Yeah, the PM mentioned, and I heard a clipping of it this morning about some parcels of land by the leader of the opposition. To quote unquote what the PM was saying, he was talking about some land at Miller's Bight. What are Miller's Bight?
It's around here in Orange Walk.
Yeah, talk about some lands from Miller's Bight. I think it talk about some on the road going to Guinea Grass, and it spoke about a lot of different plots in Progresso that when the leader of the opposition was Minister of Lands, those parcels, acres, was transferred to certain persons close to the leader of the opposition.
But wasn't it in John's name?
No, I understand. He was the minister at that time, but I believe some was in his name as well. But they was transferred to, according to what the PM is saying, was transferred to persons close to him. And I believe this is what this person that sent this text is referring to, but we don't really have all that information. I'm only quoting from what I heard the PM said this morning on one news entity.
Well, I heard the news. I watched it on the news, and I think that, like I said, I don't have all the information in front of me, especially because I'm not, I don't have my laptop. But what happens is that the information that comes out is obviously a slap in the face. Should be a slap in the face to all those people who have been condemning certain people within the UDP, you know, for taking or for buying land, and then it turns out that the same person who has been pointing fingers has done worse. So much so that the PM said, I think, in his commentary, "You nearly got with whole progressor."
Yep, yeah.
Am I not right?
Yeah, he commented.
And what I did hear was that it was not in people's names; it was in John Briceño's name.
Yep. So this person was sent this text. This text come away from Corozal, you know. Come away from Corozal. Somebody text from Corozal and say, "What the other people there? When me they got so much against the Honorable Gaspar Vega? You know one, and then when me come here, come do interview, I shove the mic in Honorable Gaspar Vega name. He not one, and I win for the city council, I believe, you know. Yes, he's the editor. He worked for a newspaper, I believe.
I can't tell you who that is. That's Micah.
Yeah, he one of the reporter when he right? But then, so this person that Corozal, they asked what they and people they know, he had nothing about it. Understand? So, sometimes when things happen, you have to figure it out. But then,
and what do you think about this, Checky? About this land grabbing how do you put this in perspective? That remember that these are the same people who have been lambasting the present government, and now you find out that these are the people who've done the same thing and worse. What is your opinion about that?
Boy, they got some characters and so when not really they figure that okay, this happened long time and nobody know about this. They never bring this up, so they just play blind to it and figure that everything is okay. But then at one time people got certain entities on their side, and they figure out that yeah, we are bring this out, and this one I bash it, that one I bash it, the next one I bash it, and I want cool, nothing to say. But maybe the leader of opposition, he might have his explanation about those parcels. Because he needs to answer to what the PM is saying, because he's the leader of the opposition. And the opposition...
Do you think he will?
Well, I hope. Because then people always got answer to things, you know, pa. They always have answer to things, but I don't know how far it going. But this person in the clamoring panda, there are people when they come out, they bring down the Honorable Gaspar Vega. You remember right before the election, this one from the representative for Cayo Central, Rene Montero, when so many things came out with his families and this and that, and then the things there, you see he did a Cayo. Cayo never lose. That's why it look like this discrimination against characters and so on this election it never work, you know, pa. Because they discriminate against this one, that one, and that never work. Watch how much they whack Belmopan, how much they deal with Belmopan. Oh, we have a Governor General, because the Governor General was at the Banfest on
and why do you say that?
Because I tell you, I hear a man say we don't have no Governor General.
Who is that man? Not afraid to say.
I'm not really deal with that. I'm not really. Everybody know that who because people see it.
You heard it, you mean?
Yeah, people heard it. They see it and hear it because it's on TV. They see it and they hear it, you know. So then the things they saw that Belmopan, they made a deal with the government to unlock that Belmopan, especially the Honorable John Saldiva, but then Belmopan come in good, right? So and a Cayo they made deal it, but then Cayo come in good. So all of their discrimination when people in the pan look like people never really got much for that. Like if you say okay. You the bash there people can do this and do that, you figure out me going against them for the election, but you never gone.
So why did it go against them when it came to Billy City and Orange Walk and Corozal?
Well, what happened? Orange Walk already had the PUP in power, right? Then just renew. But at Corozal, like remember some people text for Corozal and then they call out two of the area representative, 2 ministers in Corozal and tell them about things, and if we do not do this, then the same thing what we do to make this mayor win the Corozal, the same thing we do when this election come. I know some big families right at Orange Walk, and I was surprised when they talked to me and tell me they never gonna vote. And a real die-hard UDP.
Why didn't they go vote?
Because they said they stand up against things that the party is doing.
Like what? Some things again, like what?
One of them was that the party, the people that want to deal with the party, come around only when the election is there. And when you try to sit there.
But that doesn't constitute a reason for them not to go vote.
Well, they have their own prerogative and their own right to do what they want to do when they come to their vote, you know. But that's what they say. That's what they say and do. I send for this person, I try to see this person, I can't see this person. You walk out from your office and say, I know the work right now because I have to go to the cabinet and this and that, different thing. But, like you say, maybe that's not the right reason, or maybe that's not why they do it. It could be one other
I'm
other
sure
reason.
that there is another reason.
Understand? So, the Corozal, it happened that way. And it was surprised. Even Melhem is surprised because he said, well, this Altamira box left, and we know that was a stronghold for the UDP. And when the Altamira box was conked, it didn't make a difference. It still was still in the favor of the People's United Party. It's a message that people is sending, Emmanuel. And right there, so in Orange Walk, if you see the margin by what the PUP win in Orange Walk, it have to be that a lot of people come out that was expected to support the UDP, they support the PUP. For the amount of ways they come out, for the amount of votes, you know. So now the party have what I'd say 18 months. 18 months because December will come to the end of 2018. And we're in 2019. When 2019 done, at 2020, you know.
When do we really having elections in 2020?
Well,
what month generally? Is it going to be March or is it going to be November?
No, remember the 2015 one was in November.
In November. So by the latest 2015, by the latest it's going to be November in 2020.
Yeah, and it's still
so we have more than 2 years.
Yeah, but then you know when the political season was start up, is right. I believe it's still there and right now, but I believe like when it really gets strong because remember we have 31 constituents in the country, so we have 62 persons that need to get themselves together with conventions and put themselves official as a candidate for each and every party. So this political season will continue right through because then people have together, they have a deadline when they need for that all representative of their party in their areas. So things were tight up.
Well, I have been listening intently and I would like to just quickly tell you that the 31 constituencies, that there is going to be a redistricting.
Do you believe that will happen before the general election?
Of course it will happen before the general elections.
Well,
I believe that it will happen before the general elections.
Remember, we still have this re-registration. I will still have this this referendum coming up.
So and all of that will happen. Remember that we're just beginning the 2018.
Yeah.
We're just into March.
Because we call it April, because March finished.
All right. But we're still in March.
Yeah.
The elections are going to be sometime in 2020, November.
Right.
Okay?
That marks the deadline of 5 years, right?
It could be December. Okay? It could be October. It could be any time in that area.
It could be up to
so
January.
We have approximately 2.5 years in which to, one, do the re-registration. Secondly, do the redistricting. And also, like you said, do the referendum. Am I not right?
Yes.
The re-registration is going to happen, I believe should happen, first and foremost.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I understand that it's supposed to the NIGAR for make it get finished by September of this year.
You do your registration, find out how many people live within that district, in that constituency, find out the actual people living, because as it is right now, up to 20-25% of the people registered in that area are not living in that area.
Yeah, and that needs to change.
That needs to be, because people move from one. Oh, I mean, to live at Trial Farm. No. Like me, I don't live in Trial Farm anymore. I live in town.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't change my registration from town, so I'm back into town.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But during town council elections, if I hadn't moved, people would have had to go look for me in Trial Farm.
Yeah.
You know?
I find you.
But they would have.
But you see,
but the point is that
when it comes to constituents,
we will after the re-registration, then we will go through the redistricting, where it's very possible, ladies and gentlemen, that the 31 constituencies that we have will no longer be 31, but will go up to approximately 40 constituencies.
Yeah.
Because you have some areas, the Constitution provides that the population must be divided in such a manner that there is an equal or a close to equal amount of people registered within each constituency, where you have equal representation. It makes no sense for you to have a constituency with 1,500 people and another constituency with 3,000 people, which means that in one area it's 2 to 1, and in another area it's much less, it's much higher. I'm sorry, much higher.
Yeah, but you see, we need to go up and break out. We got that coming up to shed a little bit about the land issue that we're talking about. But Emmanuel, before we go up on a break, I wouldn't feel it fair enough for me to live in a constituency and 5 persons who live in a constituency. They might live there, Mexico, Guatemala, or they might live in our area with a PG. And when you look, we know what we are voting for in our constituents, in our area. So that is what, because we know how we live every day. And if 5 people come, and when you look, that election was decided by 3 or 4 votes, that means then people will come. If they vote made a difference. If they never come, maybe the people there, women they in there, it may go in the other way. Vice versa, it could be the same way. So I believe they're supposed to make them people not living in their constituents, not voting in the area, because we know how we live in that area. We know how we live in this country. Like I tell you, I said them people talk out there that they get $300. They live right there, but they're not from Guatemala. They get $300 for each of the party if they go and vote. Because 2 days before the election, they go and Melchor. And they stay there. So the party people ain't go around and they give them their money. So when they give them their money, they come across and vote. And when they don't vote, they jump on the bus and come back to Orange Walk. Understand? About the re-registration, it said voters registration exercise will start in July of this year. And thank you so much. On that note, it said voter registration exercise will start in July of this year. I'm not sure if the re-registration. But on that note, we need to go up.
We need to take a break. We'll take a break when it's exactly 4 minutes after 8 o'clock, but we'll be right back with you after these messages.
The Philip Goldson Highway between Belize City and the Philip Goldson International Airport is getting a major facelift to the tune of $31.5 million. Section B of the highway upgrading project between Haulover Bridge and the Buttonwood Bay Boulevard roundabout is underway at an investment of $21 million. Works consist of the full rehabilitation of the road to paved standard, which includes the widening of the road to 4 lanes, lined sidewalks and drains, wide shoulders, median, and parking, plus a bus lane at designated sections of the road. LED road lighting will be installed along with road safety features such as signs, reflectors, and road markings. The project will also facilitate in the improvement of underground infrastructure for the public utility companies. The government of Belize, moving Belize forward.
You have an 8-cylinder powerful engine disguised as an aluminum alloy that spins at 8,000 revolutions per minute.
Goes like this. You think it's a turbo?
No, with the cleaning of injectors and a change of oil, you will run more efficient, my friend.
For those who understand the engine like it talks to you, we speak machine. Rush France, making the world function. Authorized agent, German Vega & Sons. Telephone number 322-3625. Email germanvega@btl.net.
Everyone needs a getaway. Why not make it in your own backyard? Learn the history of your old capital. Or venture venture out on a road trip to experience the village life and be captivated by nature's wildlife, culture, and food. Belize, where you can discover how to be a Belizean traveler.
Everybody wants a clean and healthy family. That's why they purchase the best food products and the cleansing materials. This time, we give you a bigger size of La Costeña products like the mouth-watering fried beans and the pasta sauce. And surely for your clean laundry, we have the breathtaking aroma of Ensueño Max Suavitel. Even your visitors will ask what you clean your floors and restrooms with. And you can boast it is the variety of Pinol products and Sultan muriatic acid now in 900 milliliters. And much more for the best prices only at German Vega and Sons Imports. We serve you at number 5 San Antonio Road, Orange Walk Town. You can even call us at 322-3625 or 322-2672. Or you can even send us a fax at 322-2571 or email us at germanvega@btl.net. German Vega and Sons Limited, because we care for you.
Maintaining steadiness, consolidating stability, advancing growth.
In the Capital 3 budget, provisions of over 43 million have been made to finance the following key infrastructure projects. Continuation of the upgrading of the Hummingbird Highway, $11 million. Continuation of the Belize Southside Poverty Alleviation Project, $4 million. Commencement of work on the upgrading of new sections of the George Price Highway, including the construction of a new double-lane bridge at Roaring Creek, $13 million. Commencement of work on the upgrading of a new section of the Philip Golson Highway, $5 million. Commencement of work on the new Airport Link Road, joining the access road to the PGIA, joining that with the Western Highway, $3 million. Commencement of work on the new Hallover Bridge, $3 million. And commencement of work on phase 1 of the Caracol Road project, $4 million. In addition, provision of $9.5 million has also been made for projects in the education and health sectors and towards our vaunted poverty alleviation programs. Mr. Speaker, I should point out that as we have done in all the years since taking office, we will again be financing our capital program wholly from concessional sources provided by our international development partners. We will not be borrowing any funds on commercial terms. These are the investments that will continue the transformation and continue to bring the jobs to lower even more the unemployment rate and lift lives and the economy.
The government of Belize, moving Belize forward.
Welcome back to the Sugar City Morning Show. Bienvenidos de vuelta, compañeros. Hoy tengo el gran gusto de tener al doctor Homero Novelo con nosotros. Buenos días, doctor.
Gracias,
y
bienvenido
al show. ¿Cómo estás?
Bien, bien. Buenos días, Chequi. ¿Cómo estamos?
But I want to hear something before you start. I want to hear how you used to end your show.
Oh,
just like how you used to do it. Hit me.
Estamos aquí en su programa. Hoy en detalles.
Welcome back. You revived me. You revived me. That.
Yeah.
You revived.
Many people still ask me if that program still, if we put it under the, under the shelves or something like that. But it can't come back and might come back.
Yeah.
It needs a little work and tweaking here and there. But yeah, we used to write a lot of At that time, production used to be so kind that, they used to allow all the initiatives that we had. It was a program that was more educating and informative than anything else. We used to bring characters of all the different cross-section of the town and district to us so that they can discuss a lot of issues. Like, for example, there's one radio announcer in a radio station that never used to pronounce some words good. Like students, she used to say studients. And so we brought the head of the English department from Escuela Mexico to explain to us why is it that people do that. And in fact, she came with a lot of good answers for that, because she said, you know what, education has to do a lot. People are listening to a lot of American stations, and they want to start to yank, and they're Belizeans. One, the next thing, texting. Texting has distorted and deteriorated the English language to such an extent that people want to talk the same way they want to write. So there are a lot of issues that we learned from this person.
And even write their English papers the same way they text with all the in
shortcuts.
With all the shortcuts. And
but I have a reason to be here this morning, and thank you guys for giving me the space. I always come and as an intruder steal a little bit of the time.
No, man, you're a part of this organization. You're a part of bringing up of Channel 10.
Thank you.
Television, right?
Well, yeah, Paula is supposed to be here. She was part of it also. And saludos, Paula, donde quiera que te encuentres. Fuiste un pilar de esta emisora. But anyway, what I wanted to bring forward, the Prime Minister was discussing late at night the issues about land with Johnny B. Now we call him Johnny B, and I see Johnny B on Facebook and everywhere. The fact remains that there's a lot of land that Johnny has, but there are also land that he has managed to hide in companies' names, in other people's names, like what they say in Mexico, presta nombres. But again, there's a lot of land that he has acquired and he has sold so that he has reaped the cash benefits of these. One of them, and I always should mention this, is the land at the border, which used to house the Immigration and Customs Department. That we have a document with his signature where he got it for $10, and then they sold it for $1 million to the casino. Now, can you imagine what they did with that money? Oh, they have a lot of stories. But I'll tell you what, it cannot be ascertained. But obviously, $1 million in the hands of Johnny will take him miles into a lot of things. But we're not here to discuss that. We're here to discuss the fact that he has done a lot of things with land. And when he speaks, when he pontificates about corruption, I dare him wonder, man, what happened? Is the pot talking to the kettle or the comal? I mean, come on, you can't be talking about corruption when in fact you're so dabbed into this thing that the paint has covered even your eyes. It's terrible, but the Prime Minister alluded to a lot of facts that he almost owns a lot of beach in Progreso, high prime land, which, my God, we go swim in Progreso. We wish you could have a little corner right there for us to be able to put up a little palapa so that we can enjoy a little sun and breeze. Man, these guys have at their whims acres and acres of prime land, which I think is kind of taking advantage of the intelligentsia and the goodwill of the Belizean people. Because, Orange Walk needs spaces, of course, and then, we need to enjoy the sea. We go to Sartenia, as far as Sartenia, and the Progress is closer, Corozal also. But when we hear that these guys own all these lands, breaks my heart. Did we actually elect them to do that? But yet he points fingers at everybody that, oh, you got land this, you got land there. But you got another land, Johnny. You only had it hidden, but we're going to dig into it. We're going to look at it. And I tell you what, man, it's not fair for you to be able to have so much land. I mean, look at what happened to Richmond Hill. Richmond Hill belonged to the government of Belize. That was an agriculture station. Where did it end up? Who did that? Minister of Lands, Minister of Natural Resources, Johnny Briseño. Look at the most, terrible act that you did. Took the public health inspector's lot for yourself. Man, Johnny, come on. You didn't buy that from government, and government was not selling that.
Let's go back to the Richmond Hill there.
Yeah, what happened, that was an agriculture station. It had about 650 heads of cattle, and it was booming. We had agricultural workers employed by the government of Belize stationed there. And listen, it was a mini central farm to the point of having so much livestock. It went to a point that it almost had more livestock than Central Farm. But the fact remains that all that land was leased to the company that had the buffaloes there. And this, I think he took advantage of it, that it went under the radar to be able to, after the buffaloes were moved from there, to be able to dispose of it. It went to Cerbulo Baiza. Cerbulo took it. I think it was given to him as a trophy. Just like there was a guy mentioning to us, Juan Rodriguez, that before they went to the last general election when Cerbulo lost, they had an island that they were supposed to sell, and all the proceeds of that island was supposed to be...
No, hold on, no. Island is a key of the Caribbean Sea.
Yes, yes.
Mamma mia.
They're going to share the proceeds of this. But this guy, eventually, they told him that Johnny canceled it because it was a reserve. So he was chiseled out, but he wants to find out whether this land is still available, if that, or if it's in the hand of somebody else, and that got sold, and he just got chiseled out of the money. So these things happen. I mean, those circles then, they didn't mind do that. But like I said, come on. Talk about corruption. Jesus. Like he's a little immaculate palomita. That's not true, man. Johnny has dabbed his hand deep into this, that we're going to bring it out. And tell you what, the worst scenario about all this is the fact that, people in Progreso need land. People in Progreso need land to accommodate their children, to have all kinds of things there, to make a living. But yet it's in the hands of Johnny Briceño. But I tell you what, that is Florencio Marin's constituency also. So I wonder if all the while we said that Florencio and Johnny were feuding because of somebody supporting Said Musa for leadership of the party in 1998 and others supporting Florencio for the leadership, they started feuding on that. But then how comes Johnny got all that land? So people, we have to look at what is happening. We have to open our eyes and really watch what happens. These guys, they blow up a cloud so that we can't see. But what they're doing their own business by themselves. Belizeans, land is the most beautiful resource that we have, and we must take care of this. Think so?
Yes, I agree with that.
The presentation that the Prime Minister did on Friday, some names were called as well when it came to the transfers of the different lands. Is it usual that a Prime Minister in the House should call out people's names as well when it comes to these type of actions?
Well, I'll tell you something. What happened is that if it's the truth, Papa, you can't cover it with one finger. It's the truth. So there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, if you're liable, Papa. If you have land and you're the owner of that, my God, it's the Prime Minister. He's the one in charge of everything in Belize.
I saw he had his documentation in his papers.
Yes, it's factual. Well. It's factual. But there are other pieces of land that Johnny has acquired in Orange Walk and throughout the country. That there was a joke in San Pedro that when PUP was from 1998 to 2008, that they sold all kind of beach properties in San Pedro. That I'm not so sure how true is this, but we're going to research it. That he even sold the burying ground in San Pedro. So hasta los muertos se vendieron. Yeah. So we're going to talk to Elsa Paz about that to see if that, verified that. But I think Elsa Paz mentioned that in one of our shows here.
I mean, he had at one
yes,
time.
That he sold the burying ground in San Pedro.
Remember exactly how that began. I mean, he has something about the cemetery in San Pedro, but I never know what it was, what's the pertinence of that.
Well, I understand that the people in San Pedro had to fundraise to buy it back. And I'm not so sure how true it is, but we're going to talk to Elsa Paz so that we're going to look at our tapes, because I had her on one of our shows here, and she mentioned that Johnny had done that. I mean, if you're thinking about that, boy, oh boy. And then, come to think about this other issue, Central, Orange Walk Central. Johnny has not done anything for Central, but the people keep voting for him. But you know what? It's easy to get $5 million and paste it around all Central people, and they vote for him. So he buys them. He doesn't work for them. He buys them. Yet he expects the town council, which is PUP, to do the infrastructure work for him. Pick up the garbage, clean up the streets. half-baked drains and streets and all these things. He doesn't care.
What do you think is going to happen with the PUP in the Orange Walk North Division? I gather that there is already rumors that Mr. Cervantes will be replaced.
Yes, I understand that there is already a quarrel and big bad words are being hurled from Cervantes to Johnny, that Johnny's cousin, I think, is coming back and he wants to claim the territory because he had run against Gaspar, I think, the second time.
George is his brother?
Yeah,
George is his brother.
And he's coming back and apparently he wants to unseat Munchie. But I think they have to go to a convention,
but
which,
I made a talk to Emmanuel a while ago about the people coming, come vote and so will live across the border. I understand this gentleman lives somewhere in the U.S., So how he just come and just come in and decide to run for an election?
Well, Chicky, you know what happens? There are discrepancies there, but the fact remains that re-registration is also coming in. We had a lot of dead people voting. PUP is good. PUP is good at that, but hey, people that, like for example in Orange Walk South, we have people from La Union coming to vote in Orange Walk South.
A lot too.
Yes, and so Canadians also were voting in Orange Walk South. We don't live in Orange Walk South. Yes, relatives of the Mennonites. So what happens with re-registration, the lists will going to get cleaned. And we have to be vigilant about this also, because we need to see who are being registered and who are not being registered. Because we need to have genuine people to actually decide the future of this country. I mean, if you want somebody that is like a daisical or something like that, you're going to get that person, and money can buy a lot of things, but you can get somebody elected for that. But, let's have the genuine people that really think about what
I'll take opportunity and I will throw a stone. But, I remember when my brother was in politics, the late Fred Martinez, he used to have a meeting weeks before the list came out in court, and he used to have to go to court or appoint somebody who would actually be present and with the vetting of the lists.
Yeah.
However, the stone I'm throwing is that those lists don't go through any revision now, and the PUP, and it's a free for all for the PUP, because if the UDP would try doing the stuff that the PUP have done, you know what I mean? But the UDP just permits the PUP to do any and everything without any presence in court. So, why go vet lists and so forth? I mean, I don't mess with that. I ain't too busy.
Yeah,
This is what actually happens now, ladies and gentlemen. A mí nadie me pide para que yo vaya a la corte. Yo lo hacía antes y que el PUP se ríe y mete más gente en la lista que ni siquiera deben estar ahí. Así que ahora aguanten las consecuencias.
But when that when you talk about the confidence when it comes to this re-registration thing, the need for look on the people and for the elections and boundaries as well. Because that decide on election how much people you put in. They got some people who, well, we don't know where they live. We gone there, but they say he lived there, but he never did it. So we still put down in him.
Checky, that's why you have the committees. Like for example in the villages, you have there's a committee that looks after the affairs of the party. And this committee will ensure that if they are registering somebody in that list that does not live in that village or that area because they know everybody, then that's the person going to bar and say, what? Red lights. Listen, this person doesn't live there. And they object and they cannot do it. So they have these. That's why these committees are set in place to look after these. Because many times we cannot know everybody. There could be somebody that went, 1 year from the place, but, maybe traveled to the U.S. or to Mexico, where else. But he lives there. Now he came back and then continues living there. You probably don't met the person, but those people do know.
It happens in my situation, because people were asking me on election day if I don't vote. A lot of people have the perception that I live in San Francisco, and I'm still registered in Orange Walk Central, but I am registered in Orange Walk North. So that's how the things happen sometime, right?
Yes.
But then you say, like when Emmanuel talk about court and listing and so, Some of the same people from the party when they ask me why I never go and vote. If they do their job correctly, I know that I never depend on the voters list.
Yeah.
And so other people depend on the voters list never business for the day. But the time when you go to court, go challenge, like you said in the sleep. So on the one side, gone. I remember when Cardona me gone a court one time when they want to scratch us on name half of his list. Cardona gone and he represent that and he win the case.
Yeah.
You understand? So what were they? What were they when it come to the
We're
party?
there at zero because the lists are being presented in court and nobody goes to, represent the party.
But then the re-registration means that everybody, PUP and UDP now has to go and register themselves again, which means that there's where the betting goes. You're going to register in Orange Walk North because you live in Orange Walk North. You can't, if you live in Central and you vote in North, this is going to be fixed down. Understand? But the thing is this, though, I have a little joke. I understand Jose Mai is in trouble right now because 300 of the people from South came to vote in the municipal elections. And then he only won by 68 votes, which means that if those 300 stay in the municipal list, Jose Mai will lose already. So he's worried, he's scratching his head up and down. He wants this re-registration to happen so he gets these people back to his place. Just to show the gimmicks of the PUP, what they were doing all the while, taking people. And I said,
But do you think that perhaps the re-registration itself, because I can be registered in a division, and then come July and August, I can go register re-register, transfer into another division. No, the question is, what checks and balances, what measures does the Elections and Boundaries Office have in place to ensure that you live there?
That you move from there.
Exactly.
That's why the transfer.
I gather they ask you for some sort of utility bill, but for God's sake, you could get that for 1 month and
yeah. But
that's easy to get.
But Emmanuel, if I know you, I represent the area, or maybe I'm the head of a committee. I know Emmanuel is registered, let's say, in Central, and all of a sudden Emmanuel wants to be in North. Then you know what happens? We're going to question it because, man, I know about you live. So we're going to object to that. You stay in Central because you live there. You understand? So you can't come to the North because somebody will object. If you're voting for UDP, and that is happening, we want to bring you to North, I'm sure the PUP will object that.
My question is, what checks, what mechanisms does the Elections and Boundaries have in place? Do they accept everything that the person says, Miss, I'd like to re-register. I live at East now. What do they ask of you?
Well, probably the representative from the parties will say, yes, you live
there.
there. East.
They will be in
but
there.
Then you should only take the representative from the parties. It needs to go further than that from the Elections and Boundaries because they say, all right, this party person bring this person and say live there. They need to go for the.
If we're gonna begin the whole revision, let's begin from the very registration aspect of it.
Well, that's right. That's what you mean, registration.
Yeah, but my point is, Omero, is that if they re-register in a division, nothing stops them from re-registering come July and August back again into another area.
No, man, there are checks and balances. I'm not so sure about that. We need
you understand what I'm telling you?
Yeah, we need to look into that.
This could also be a case. Let's say they go see Morris and Morris said that, why lived out your benke? Will they ask Morris how long he lived there? I just moved here yesterday.
Maybe you should bring somebody from the Elections and Boundaries.
Yeah, because I don't know we can't deal with that. Make we get a call.
Sugar City Morning Show, good morning. Buenos dias. Hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
Buenos dias.
Okay. Yeah,
we lost that call.
This thing, yeah, so I wonder if this presentation that the Prime Minister made in reference of these transfer of lands, if that going dead right there, so that presentation happened and it dead, I hear nothing else about it.
Listen, what happens is that whatever is said in the House of Assembly is something that is recorded and all that information is distributed to our partners in the world. So it is something that sets a precedent for anybody that goes there and his life is discussed there. Many a times, they might be so amicable that they don't want to mention names, but I tell you what, With this case, names were mentioned and shots were fired. And tell you what, it sort of shows the
Let's get it. Let's get it. Sugar City Morning Show. Good morning. Buenos dias.
Go ahead, continue.
Yeah.
Names were called.
Yeah, this kind of shows the confidence that anybody would have on leaders like that are, all the while they say, I'm ready to win, and I'm ready to what? Like some people say, ready to win and ready to steal? Come on. I mean, they say you cannot remove the spots from a jaguar or a lion or a tiger, I mean. So these guys, once they've dubbed themselves into this, they will forever be like that. I mean, and that's what we tell the people. Can you trust them? I mean, it's the same old PUP that's coming back. Look at Joe Koyi already coming back in the Belize City Council. The only one, the city council, and already the old heads are coming to being resuscitated. So, what will you see in Orange Walk? What will you see in Corozal? The old heads coming back again. So, what are they waiting? Ready to lead and ready to what? To steal them? You don't want that.
I gather Mr. Koyi, Joe Koyi, was appointed as the chairman of the transition team, and currently he's running an audit into the obviously.
Guys,
there's a lot of money involved there.
From 9. We need to take a break.
Let's take a break. We'll be right back with you.
And I think I've got to go.
Yes. You mean now?
They see you and how you're living. Always a star. Yes, you live in color to the limit. Large and in charge. Yes, that's why you rock with Buster. Refreshing range of colorful flavors. Always a star, never the audience. You run things never run yours. Yes, you are the life of it, not just a part of it. Your life is never black and white. Live in full color. Buster.
Before we signed up for Diginet, things at home were a bit...
Mom, I just having up the internet. Fix it.
Chaotic when it came to the internet. But since we signed up for Diginet, fiber optic internet for your home, everything has been going awesome. Everyone can be online at the same time, consistent and reliable speeds, no more fighting for internet. It's a mother's dream. It's so affordable. I got a 20 megabyte plan for only $169 monthly. Plus, it comes bundled with a free postpaid plan and free home phone service. We're saving over $200 monthly. It's an unbelievable deal. Perfect for families. Trust me. Visit your nearest BTL office and ask about Diginet today.
Now available in San Pedro, Northside Belize City, Ladyville, and Belmopan. Coming soon to Orange Walk.
The San Ignacio-Santa Elena Bypass Project is now complete. The transformation began in 2012, and now residents of the Twin Towns and visitors alike are enjoying the end result. Works include the full pavement of Lamalus Boulevard, along with 2 miles of sidewalks and drainage, LED lighting, and a roundabout at the entrance of Santa Elena. The Twin Towns now boast the longest and widest bridge in Belize, immune to flooding from the occasional rise in water levels of the McCall River. A bypass road was also built, linking the new bridge to Joseph Andrews Drive, which was rehabilitated, as well as 1 mile of pavement, a median, and 2 miles of sidewalks and drainage. This was all done to the tune of $34.8 million. But that's not all. The project was extended due to savings from the successful execution and implementation of the initial scope of works. Now over 2 miles of additional roadworks will commence, including George Price Avenue, Liberty Avenue, and the George Price Highway between Three Flags and Hawksworth Bridge. The government of Belize, moving Belize forward.
Everyone needs a getaway. Why not do it in your own country? Sun, fun, and relaxation are just a short distance away.
Have a taste of barefoot living, or enjoy the sounds and taste of an authentic Garifuna village. Allow yourself to be swept away by Southern hospitality and living. Escape the hectic world and enjoy a beautiful sunset. Belize, where you can discover how to be a Belizean traveler.
Motor 5.0, 4 válvulas por cilindro. Todos quisiéramos una. Como que no agarra, ¿no? Siento como que se le pega el... ¿Balancín? Vamos a darte el aceite que te mereces. Vas a correr como rayo, preciosa.
Los que oímos más allá de las revoluciones, hablamos máquina. Roche France, poniendo el mundo a funcionar.
Agente autorizado German Vega y Sons. Teléfono 322-3625. Roche France.
Welcome back to the Sugar City Morning Show. It is exactly 23 minutes before 9 o'clock. Aquí vamos a hablar en español ahora. Aquí con la presencia del doctor Romero Novello, que siempre se presta para venir a discutir política aquí en la estación de televisión y otros temas, no solo política, pero también por ser quien es él ama la política y siempre tiene una muy buena perspectiva acerca de qué es lo que está sucediendo. De nuevo, buenos días y bienvenido, Doc.
Gracias, Manuel. Gracias, muchachos. La mera verdad, pues mi interés es Belice. Yo quiero este país, yo amo este país, adoro Orange Walk. Yo he pasado toda mi vida trabajando aquí en el país. Trabajé 10 años con el gobierno y el resto del tiempo estuve trabajando en privado. Hice 4 años en el Cattle Street Project y aquí estamos. Pero yo tuve la oportunidad de conseguir un trabajo en Estados Unidos también y quedarme allá. Lamentablemente, 3 razones. No me gusta el frío. Muy helado. Ya, para cuando está nevando te tienes que encerrar y esta es una persona que no lo puede encerrar. La mera verdad. Otra cosa es, el gobierno me mandó a estudiar y es dinero de ustedes, taxpayers. Tenía que regresar a seguir desarrollando Belice porque se lo debía a todos ustedes, a toda la nación. Y en tercer lugar, pues la familia estaba acá. Todo lo que tengo en la vida está acá. Papá y mamá estaban acá.
Tu toche está acá.
Entonces, he estado acá, pues me es grato también mencionarles que hoy estoy acompañado de mi hija Agustina, ella está con nosotros en el estudio. Ya están de vacaciones los niños. Estoy seguro que todos también en todo el país. Ay, Agustín. Todos en el país están tomando sus vacaciones, también nosotros. Pero regresando al tema político, le quisiera decir a todos ustedes que tienen que ponerse a pensar esto claramente. Muchos de ustedes han conseguido ayuda bajo el UDP. Ha sido el gobierno social en este país. Muchos de ustedes han conseguido un terreno bajo el UDP. Ayuda tal vez en enfermedad, ayuda para su familiar cuando hay, digamos, una fatalidad. Ayuda tal vez en ¿cómo dicen? El programa de boost y todas esas cosas allá. La ayuda a los estudiantes. Todo esto. Les quiero recordar que el UDP ha ayudado a mucha gente. No al 100%, porque casi es imposible hacerlo, pero la mayoría que han querido y que han tenido una necesidad genuina han conseguido ayuda. Sin embargo, les quiero recordar que todo esto, si usted consiguió y tal vez no ha conseguido otra vez, la esperanza de conseguir está más con el UDP que con el PUP. Recuerden, un cambio de gobierno, van a perder su chamba todos ustedes. Y eso yo creo que es tiempo que se pongan a pensar de que no nos conviene a muchos. Bueno, yo no tengo trabajo con el gobierno, pero la verdad sí he visto la prosperidad que este gobierno nos ha dado en el país. Todo eso se va a acabar. Va a haber gente que viene con una misión diferente. Y el PUP tiene la manera como de sacarles a ustedes del trabajo. Les van a mandar a Punta Gorda, les van a frustrar hasta que un día ustedes tiren la resignación. Esa es la manera como sacan ellos del trabajo. Ellos van a poner su gente, van a hacer su agenda, se van a olvidar de todos ustedes. Es que acuérdense.
Vamos a tomar la llamada. Sugar City Morning Show, buenos días, good morning.
Buenos días, hermano.
Hola, ¿qué tal?
Bien, bien.
Cuéntame.
Buenos días, Doc.
Buenos días, jefe, ¿cómo estamos?
Chiqui, buenos días.
Morning, brother, morning.
Ok, estoy llamándoles para darles una feliz, calurosa mañana, ¿no?
Gracias. Igualmente.
Okay. Veo que mi amigo Doc está hablando buenas cosas, como siempre, ¿verdad?
Gracias, jefe, gracias.
La esperanza está con el UDP.
Así es.
Es el gobierno que está llevando a un país adelante, aunque muchas gentes en esta elección del Tom Board como la ciudad de Belice, no lo aprecian lo que está pasando, ¿verdad?
Así es.
Pero sabemos que el desarrollo viene cuando hay un buen manejo en el gobierno. Aunque el PUP diga cosas y haga cosas, sabemos que el UDP es el que hace el mejor movimiento en el país, la mejor economía, ¿verdad? Como oímos al ministro de Educación, ¿cuántos jóvenes están gozando de su educación libre? Porque están poniendo la educación primero en Belice para que así haya un país desarrollado, ¿verdad? Yo quiero felicitar al Dakayak, mi buen amigo, él sabe quién soy. Necesito hablar con él.
Gracias, jefe, gracias.
Yo creo que hay potencial en el DAC, hay potencial. Síguelo, DAC.
Gracias, jefe, gracias, se lo agradezco y tenga buen día.
Que tengas tiempo, dame un gritito, tú sabes quién soy, DAC.
Sí, ya sé quién es, jefe, ya sé quién es. Le vamos a caer en estos días.
Ok, muy bien y buena suerte, pues hay que darle duro porque necesitamos que este gobierno siga desarrollando el país, ¿ok?
Gracias a usted, señor. Gracias, muchas gracias.
Pase felices vacaciones.
Igualmente, señor, que pase usted igual a un buen tiempo, que la goce todo y que tenga una buena estancia con sus hijos y sus nietos y todo. Porque el tiempo...
Sí,
todos están me imagino que están
tengo gente
en familia, ¿no?
Tengo la fortuna de que tengo gente que me conoce a través de todo el país. Esta emisora me ha hecho conocer mucha gente. También el trabajo que hice con el gobierno en los 10 años, estuve estacionado en todos los distritos, y el Cattle Street Project, que tuve que visitar todas las esquinas del país, desde Consejo hasta la base militar Cadenas, en el sur. Entonces, sí he conocido bastante, por eso tengo a Belice en el corazón, porque conozco todo el trabajo arduo de todos sus beliceños que se levantan desde las 4 de la mañana a laborar, a todos los cañeros, a todos esos que siembran verdura, toda esta gente, gente del campo, la gente inclusive que va a vender a Ciudad Belice, los trabajadores de construcción que se van en los autobuses a Belice, los estudiantes, que yo tuve el placer de viajar con ellos en Valencia, Bosch, cada vez a las 3 de la mañana de acá, de Orange Walk hasta Belmopan. Muchos de ellos pues se iban a la Universidad de Galen, a la Universidad de Belice. Todos estos que están sacrificando para salir adelante. Mi corazón va para todos ustedes. Les deseo éxito, porque la mera verdad son ustedes que ayudan a hacer que este país sea mejor.
Muy bien, sí, pues esa identificación vale mucho, ¿sabes?
Claro, me hace sentir bien porque...
Vale mucho, porque siquiera te identificas con ellos y con la lucha.
Así es.
Y con la lucha.
Y qué bueno que mucha gente pues reconoce que el Partido Unido Democrático es el mejor gobierno. Y si lo vemos, si lo ponemos en la historia, Immanuel, el gobierno de Manuel Esquivel fue mi maestro fue nuestro maestro en St. John's. Él era un maestro que tenía una maestría en física, physics y matemática, ¿no? Se enseñó estadística. La verdad, Manuel Esquivel entró y tuvo un gobierno para componer lo malo que estaban las cuentas, que introdujo también en su segundo término el VAT. Se puso a ahorrar para pagar la deuda externa y muchas cosas. Pero Manuel Esquivel se le criticó también por ser un gobierno capitalista. Sin embargo, vino el gobierno de Judge Price, siempre se le llamaba un gobierno socialista, que pedía trabajar con la gente, ayudaba a la gente. Cuando el PUP entró en el 98, que pensábamos que eran pupilos de Judge Pais, agarraron los servicios sociales, agarraron la ayuda de la gente, lo tiraron por la ventana y empezaron a prestar, a agarrar dinero, a juguetear dinero como si fuera su propio dinero, hasta endeudarnos $1 billón. Y la gente no los ha tolerado desde entonces. Prueba de eso es que no han ganado una elección. Y para que ganen la elección tienen que cambiarse totalmente el PUP. La verdad. El UDP ha ganado todo eso porque el UDP vino con la misión de ayudar al pueblo. Ese Food Pantry Program, ese Boost Program, si ustedes entendieran qué quiere decir eso, el Food Pantry Program quiere decir que se le está dando una despensa a la gente, se le está dando de comer a esta gente. Hay gente que está trabajando, que no, madres solteras, que no pueden, digamos, dar para la comida para todos sus hijos, la ropa, el vestuario, el techo. El gobierno del UDP ha ayudado a esta gente con muchas de estas cosas. El Boost Program ha dado también a los estudiantes. Mira, el tuition, a veces papá y mamá tienen 2, 3 hijos trayendo a la secundaria, a veces no se puede pagar, es porque no estamos ganando un salario. Papá y mamá tal vez no fue a la escuela, están luchando. Entonces, él ayuda, entra a su tiempo para estos muchachitos.
Es verdad, no sé si estoy equivocado, pero quiero que alguien me lo aclare, que el School Educational Grant de $300 se ha extendido a Corozal, a los estudiantes de Corozal. ¿Sabes algo de eso?
Sí,
no han conseguido.
There is a time of the year when the ministry extends out to the northern district. I'm not sure if it's going to be a permanent thing or an automatically one that, like the way it's in the south. But I know that presently some students from Orange Walk are getting a little educational grant right now.
Yeah, but my question was, I gather that the Corozal is permanent now? Am I mistaken?
Yes. What happens, in fact, NHI is also coming to them, not only these student grants.
Corozal?
Yes.
NHI?
NHI, yes. So, you see what happens in the analysis of the country. Of course, the PG is the least developed with the highest poverty rate, but second comes Corozal. So actually, the social arm of the government has stretched up to this point, and they are looking into investing more into not only infrastructure but also the educational aspect of Corozaleños, which is good. I had, several friends that were also getting this monies. They were going to sixth form, and then there were subventions going to them. In fact, my daughter got help from DPM's office to aid her finances to pay her sixth form. Of course, and then you have other people that got along with her, because I do remember all of them coming to DPM's office for all these things, and the monies were disbursed to help them. So I'm sure that this thing continues. This is not something, of course, it ends up with the person. Once the person graduates, of course, it's over. But then, new people are coming in, and the whole system continues streaming. But in Punta Gorda, in the south also, there's a program also whereby students that are going to primary school and even high school are being given some funds, a stipend, so that they are able to finance perhaps some little expenses whilst they are going to school, which is something, that we really applaud.
Let me take this. Sugar City Morning Show, good morning.
Buenos días, Don Manuel, soy un pariente de familia. Solo quiero decir que todo lo que están diciendo es bueno, pero que el gobierno ayuda a la gente, padres de familia con sus hijos, pero todos esos jóvenes que se están educando el papá nunca le dice cómo él los está educando, de quién están recibiendo esa ayuda. Es que toda esa juventud que el gobierno está estudiando, todos ellos no saben cómo empezó esto, no saben nada, y los padres no se los enseñan. Los gentes ya adultos, ya abuelos, padres ya de esos tiempos, no le dicen cómo empezó o nada. Es que esos jóvenes así se educan y después salen a la calle, otras compañías se encuentran, y toda esa gente, todos esos jóvenes que estamos nosotros como parientes apoyando, todos esos van y votan a contra del propio gobierno que los ayuda.
Buen punto, excelente punto.
Y otra cosa, que el PUP a base de eso, él entra como el diablo, pues yo le digo, y empiezan a aconsejar a esos jóvenes. Y el joven, como no sabe cómo los padres lo hicieron, pues ellos lo agarran fácil y van y votan a contra del propio que los ayudó. Yo soy mamá, y si yo eduqué 3 hijos, yo no recibí, en ese tiempo no daban ayuda, no había ayuda del gobierno. Y entonces yo eduqué a mis hijos. Ahorita los parientes tienen bastantes de donde les entra ayuda por el gobierno. Y como dicen, ya se cansaron tal vez de vivir bien, pues quieren sufrir la pobreza. Pero es una lástima para la gente beliceña. Es una lástima. Gracias. Por eso ahorita yo le doy un consejo a todos esos padres que están consiguiendo ayuda de este gobierno que tenemos ahorita, que es mi partido. Que aconsejen a sus hijos, que hablen con sus hijos, que les digan. No los dejen así nomás como gentes así que no saben pues qué es lo que deben de hacer cuando queden adultos. No debe de ser así. Aconseja a tus hijos y diles, háblales. Y otra cosa que yo veo, que el partido UDP pone jóvenes a administrar como cuando vienen las votaciones. Esos jóvenes no conocen a la gente. Deben de poner gentes adultos, gentes que han venido peleando con el partido.
Gracias, gracias.
Que conozcan a la gente y que tengan agallas para pelear sus derechos. Porque el PUP, en esas elecciones que vinieron, usted no vio gentes jóvenes, sí había unos, pero hasta gente de San José vino a trabajar en los puestos de votos. ¿Por qué? Porque la gente de la aldea tienen más agallas y ellos sí pelean, y eso es lo que Johnny puso en unas cajas en las botas de elección del Tom Board. Por eso yo le doy un consejo a los que representan aquí en el norte, que procuren abrir bien sus ojos y que peleen los derechos, porque si no, vamos a regresar 50 años atrás.
Muchas gracias, señora.
Gracias, mami, gracias.
Muchas gracias.
Yo digo.
Sí,
deben de poner, y ya el partido UDP ya debe de ponerse las pilas y pelear para que volvamos a ganar otra vuelta. Porque yo tengo una amiga que vive en los Estados Unidos, que están años que yo no la veo, y yo la vi, y yo le digo, ¿y cómo tú estás acá? Me dice, ya, Johnny mandó a toda la gente de por California, de por allá, les mandó.
Gracias, gracias, muchísimas gracias.
Uno de los temas que más destacan aquí es si el partido debe anunciarse y cantar sus laureles, o si es que debe de hacerlo y callar su boca. Obviamente, un partido político está puesto para ganar elecciones y debe de decirle a la gente, mira, tanto gastamos en tanto en scholarships para tus hijos, tanto vamos a gastar en scholarships, para que no solo el papá lo sepa, pero que hasta el hijo lo sepa.
La cosa, Manuel, que muchas veces cuando obras bien, no le dices a quién. Hiciste buen trabajo, no se lo van a mencionar a los 4 mundos. Pero creo que la señora tiene un punto muy válido. Que ¿sabes qué? Sí se le ha dado a muchos de los estudiantes. No puedo decir a todos, pero la mayoría han conseguido algo. ¿Y saben qué? El que maneja el dinero es papá y mamá, y yo garantizo que lo saben.
Sugar City Morning Show, buenos días.
Buenos días.
Buenos días.
Ándale, adelante.
Yo solo quería decir algo. Yo tengo 28 años y esa señora que llamó no tiene ni sentido para hablar.
¿Por qué dices eso?
Ella no está viendo el gobierno cómo está trabajando. Ella no quiere un mejor ejemplo para para la aldea, para todo.
¿A qué te refieres?
Perdón. No le entendemos a usted, porque la señora le va a decir algo. Sinceramente, la señora tuvo un buen punto y nosotros se lo agradecemos bastante, ¿no? Tiene buenas ideas.
Así que dime, ¿a qué te refieres exactamente? Pero tienes que substanciar esas alegaciones.
La señora no tiene sentido para hablar.
Bueno, está repitiendo algo ahí que alguien te está diciendo. La señora tuvo Habló muy bien.
Muy bien, claro.
Y estamos aquí en defensa de ello.
And she's talking about her experience.
Sí. Versus... No quiero entrar a hablar mal, pero la señora dijo claramente una cosa, compañeros. Habló de que los parientes muchas veces no comparten la información de cómo consiguen el dinero para pagarle esta educación a sus hijos. Es más, sus hijos crecen no reconociendo y no sabiendo cómo que consigue el papá el dinero para pagar un parte de su educación. Así que los jóvenes, impresionables como son, entonces viene fulanito y le dice, ay, no, y ellos entonces escuchan. Pero si no tienen ese beneficio de esa comunicación con el papá que les dice, ¿sabes qué? Es a través del UDP que estás consiguiendo tu educación. Es a través del UDP que estás consiguiendo $300 mensuales. Es a través del UDP que estás... Entonces, si ese muchacho o muchacha supiera todo esto, estaría dispuesto a defenderse. Pero si no lo sabe, entonces, muchas veces cae víctima a todas las locuras que le dicen ahí fuera.
Bueno, y también yo quisiera mencionar esto. Si somos UDP todos, como mencionó el viceprimer ministro Gaspar Vega, somos UDP todos, tenemos que llevarnos. Si mi vecino necesita algo y yo soy su vecino, seamos como seamos, hay que ayudarnos, hay que tener esa bondad para hablarnos, llevarnos bien y ayudarnos. Y sobre todo si somos UDPs, tenemos que mirarnos unos a los otros.
Vamos a tomarlo. Sugar City Morning Show, buenos días.
Good morning, Jackie.
Good morning.
Good morning. Yes, Jackie, good morning.
Can you lower the volume of your television, please?
Yes, Jackie. Friend, Jackie.
Guinea grass.
Yeah.
Just lower the television, the volume on the television, bro.
Yeah, Jackie.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to keep up the village life again, man. Just make everything change, make everybody happy. Yeah, you know all the village thing when we used to get one time, like they broke it down, man. Like, you know, bring something new for the village.
Yes, man, definitely.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Yeah, brother.
Yeah.
So we go back to what the lady was saying.
The lady was saying very simply, one, parents need to communicate to their sons and daughters as to how they get, as to the help that they've been receiving. If in the absence of that, the young man or young woman is at a loss as to that information. And impressionable as they are at that age, so sometimes fall prey to other people's advances.
Grow up with that.
Very simple.
No,
What was a good point?
Yes,
How about the
very
next
good
one
point.
that called? She said, "Little dark little fool."
Well, I don't even want to discuss that.
Maybe she didn't hear her well or something like that. You know?
I think that it was more something else. I think it's I can even venture to tell you that it's a response to the wrong person.
Yeah.
It's very possible.
Probably, you know.
So it didn't make any sense to me. But we'll leave it at that.
Yeah, but then, you know, yo solo les quisiera mencionar que todos los estudiantes y toda esa gente que consiguieron ayuda, han conseguido ayuda del UDP, se va al UDP, se acabó, porque PUP va a venir con otro tipo de administración. ¿Ah? Recuerden, hay que darle a César lo que es de César y por favor, hemos conseguido, digamos,
hay que empezar a cantar las virtudes de nuestro partido, porque muchas veces ha habido un vacío, ha habido un silencio, y entonces esta información no se divulga y mucho menos se aprecia. Mucho menos se aprecia. Así que hay que empezar a recordar, si esa es la palabra correcta.
Yeah, well, recordar. It's time for us to close.
Es volver a vivir.
Compañeros, ya son las 9 de la mañana, ya luego de las 9, te quiero dar las gracias.
Gracias, Manuel, gracias.
A Chiqui también, al equipo de producción, las gracias a todos y a ustedes también, la audiencia que fielmente nos apoyan y que y que para las personas que participaron, muchas gracias también. Este show repite a las 9 por la noche y mañana tendremos, vamos a tener, el miércoles tendremos a Banquitas House of Culture haciendo presentación de las alfombras, y ya luego también el jueves tendremos al superintendente, ¿sí? Ok, y acaba de llamar para cambiar. Ya luego también el jueves tendremos la serie Morning Show. Buenos días.
And then also Thursday in the segment with Superintendent, she will be having Sister V.R. Collins from the Orange Walk Baptist Church. It's for the Thursday we'll be having Sister V.R. Collins, but we need to go.
Yeah, we need to go. Así que muchas gracias, compañeros. Mi nombre es Emmanuel, cuídense mucho.
I'm Robert Cheque Usher.
Y yo, Homero Novelo. Hasta la próxima, nos seguimos viendo. Cuídense.
Se cuidan mucho. Hasta luego.
Sugar City Morning Show.
The first two phases of the Hummingbird Highway Rehabilitation Project from the Belmopan Roundabout Junction to Saboon Bridge and Alta Vista Bridge to Dangriga Town has already made a remarkable